Freedom.
Welcome to another episode of the RIP 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we're going to keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I am your super cool host, Slider Sports Guy, joined by some of my real good friends and their better halves. As you can tell, it's a little bit different. You know, we usually just have the fellas on the RIP 28 podcast, but we needed to add a little bit of beauty to the show. You know, I'm tired of being the one to carry all the fineness by myself. So we decided to bring a little bit of beauty, and we brought in the wives on the RIP 28 podcast. As always, we start out with the president. What's going on, El Presidente?
C-Nez in the building, as always, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm glad you didn't say, good looking host and all that, because, I'm going to have to check it every single time.
He got a wine glass.
But,
sophisticated.
You over there sipping on some sister, man.
Sophisticated.
But, hey, this is going to be a good show, man. We got the lovely ladies up in the house.
Speaking of lovely ladies, man, who do you have with you, man? You can tell who appreciate their wife. You ain't even introduced all that talking.
Oh no, I wasn't done talking.
Oh, okay, my bad. Go ahead.
I got the lovely lady over here, Tanisha Nesbitt.
You said he El Presidente, so that means I'm the first lady.
I had to give
that's okay. That's okay to say.
I guess we can say that.
Yeah, don't guess it. No, it boo.
She from Memphis. We ain't gonna argue. We ain't gonna argue. They cut people in Memphis.
901.
Now we gonna go on the other side. We're gonna go on the other side down there. The original Broad River. I can't say bully because that's my name. He's the original Broad River cool guy. The one and only G5 Monster. What's going on, G5? Holla at me.
No, we doing coming live from the South as always. As you see, I'm G5. This is my wife, Erin.
Hello.
Who's the mother of the little one that y'all seen in previous shows. and keep it like I always do, coming live from the South. You heard me?
Yeah, heard me.
Shirt on, what's the nutrition shirt about?
What's that? Black Queen Nutrition Fair. I like that shirt right there.
Queens. Oh yeah, definitely. You know,
you keep all the vitamins up in gray, huh?
Right. I gotta keep them healthy. He might be from the South, but I'm from Detroit, so we do things a little bit different.
That's the second. That's the second place. I'm Detroit, Michigan. I can keep my mouth closed.
One time for the D.
I'm gonna keep my mouth closed right here. And now the last one we're gonna go over here. Last but not least, my man, Coach Bennett. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, what's up, people? Hey, I'm glad to be back on the show. Been a while. But I got the best with me tonight, and she been waiting to get on the show, so y'all better treat her right. This is my
hey, we gonna treat her right, but you looking over there like a civil rights movement.
Hey, I'm gonna be casted in one.
Marcus Garvey or something.
But yeah, this is my lovely wife, Michelle. What's up, babe?
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
All right, if y'all gonna wonder why I'm gonna keep my if you're gonna wonder why I'm gonna be a little bit more polite tonight and a little bit nicer tonight, because we got one wife, she's from Michigan, from Detroit, the other one from Memphis, and the other one from C.A. Johnson. It was them three places I'm scared of. I don't really talk too much trash.
Who from C.A. Johnson?
Michelle from Johnson.
Johnson, boy.
Oh yeah.
Johnson.
She from Johnson.
You got a good mix.
Let it rip, Sylvester. We got out. We can hold it down.
I don't take it. I don't know. I know how you remember. Y'all won't set me up, right? She got the knife in the other hand. You see it on the screen. We don't even know.
Hey, I cut you too. She done rubbed off on me.
Oh man.
I cut you though.
But check this out, man. We talked about t-shirts and everything, but also we won't tell everybody, man, where you can catch us, man. We are everywhere, man. The Rip 28 podcast. We want to thank all of you people. We want to thank all of you people for watching and listening and subscribing and all of that good stuff, man. You can catch us, man. For everybody who wants to catch us, we are everywhere, fellas. Where we at, man? We're on Twitter, Facebook,
everything. Everything.
Man, everything, man. Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, man. Everywhere you want to be, man. We are here on the Rip 28 podcast. But we want you, not only when you listen, man, we want you to click the subscribe button, click the like button, all that, share button, do all of that, man. Follow. And the only thing I can think of, man, if you don't click the like, subscribe, or share button, man, it's probably because your mama probably raised you wrong, man. You know, that's the only reason I can figure you won't click the like or subscribe or share, because your mama just ain't love you as a child, man. Y'all can think any other reason you wouldn't.
You might have rode a short bus or something.
You had to ride the short bus or something, man.
Hey, Sly, I had to get you up out that short bus a couple times. I was like, nah, you don't belong there.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man, for always looking out for me. But if y'all wondering, a lot of y'all wondering, you say, well, you guys, you know, you usually have the fellas on, man, but now you bring on the wives. What is this all about, man? What is this all about? Well, man, we want to talk about love and marriage on the Rip 28 podcast. We bring you a little bit of funny. We done had a bunch of interesting guests, man. We had a sorcerer on here one week, man. We had a stripping DJ. We done had a mental health counselor, a workout guy, man. We done had all of these people, but the people have been talking and they've been asking. They want to know about love and about marriage. So
love and happiness.
There you go. You know, me being the divorce guy, you know, I might be the wrong person to ask, you know. So
yeah, you are.
So I figured, man, let's go.
They want to hear it anyway.
Get some of the experts, man. You know, we start off, you know, the president, you know, been married 17 years. I went to his bachelor party, wedding, and reception. They done been together 17 years. Tom and his wife, they've been together 16 years. Now, I went to his bachelor party, skipped the wedding, went to the reception. I was hungry that afternoon. Went to the reception. Appreciate the free meal. And Dre, I missed out on here because Dre was too far away. But Dre been married for 2 years. So we got a wide display of marriage, you know, a marriage range. And so basically, I'm going to throw this question out to y'all, man. What makes a marriage work? What makes a marriage work, man? I know it's a big question, but how you make this thing work? Who won't start or who won't jump in there on me, man?
So I'm the veteran in the game. You know, I'll go ahead and get it started. Hey, you know, you just gotta have good communication for one. You know, you have to make sure that y'all are on the same accord, because it's like if you think that you doing all good and all that stuff, but then she don't feel the same way or the opposite, you know, it ain't gonna work like that. So you got to make sure that you talk enough that y'all on the same page. I mean, it's just like that. It ain't as complicated as it sounds, but
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it
is. Change. You got to be willing to adjust. Yeah, you gotta be willing to adjust, and communication is key. So it's adjustment. So you know, you go through different seasons and different phases in your life. Growing up, I'm not the same person as I was when we met 19, 20 years old. And then even when we start having kids, we have a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and 10-year-old. You change each season, so you got to be willing to change as the years go on. So that's basically what it is. You got to compromise and communicate.
Yeah, what she said.
Good answer, Jay.
Hey, I completely agree. I feel like you have to want to make the marriage work, right? So it just takes a commitment that you actually want it to work. If you go into it with a bailout plan already, it's not going to work. So it takes continued growth. You want to grow together as a couple, but you have to understand that you always don't grow at the same time. We're human beings. What made me happy 10 years ago no longer makes me happy. Now, how do I communicate that to him so he understands without being offended by it, right? And I think that's the challenge. That's where the growth comes in and the effective communication skills come in.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Now this interesting. It's interesting you bring this up. You said, you know, what makes you happy at 19 and, you know, changes as what makes you older. Now, Dre and Aaron, y'all got married at an older age, you know, and a lot of things is, you know, people say you're set in your ways. So I guess, you know, you guys know what y'all like. So does that make it easier for marriage for you guys?
It has its pros and its cons. I mean, I think because we are older, or we were older when we got married, we are set in our ways about some things. So it's about being able to not only effectively communicate, but being able to listen to what that other person is saying. And like one of the other wives said, you know, don't take offense to what's being said, but kind of finding that common ground, that median. You know, you might not always agree, or sometimes you have to agree to disagree with certain things. And I think being able to have that understanding with one another is very important.
Now it's good. It's good you guys talk about you know, marriage, the understanding, the communication, and all. Man, I'm kind of curious as why did you get married? You know what I'm saying? You know, why did I get married?
I was pregnant. I ain't gonna lie.
It was shotgun wedding. One of them old pop-in-law had the shotgun.
Oh, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I said I was gonna be married by the time I was 25, and just so happened she got pregnant, and guess what? We got married at 25, and they got.
So, let's run down our love story. Dre was around. I literally graduated from college, bought a house, and got married all in 1 year.
Oh my.
So we knew we were together, right? We understood that. But then, you know, Jacob came along. And I'm willing to say this on a podcast because this is a completely different world now, right? My mother was, when I told her, I said, Mom, we're expecting. And she said, well, here's the calendar, pick a date.
Hey, that's South Carolina right there.
That's the South.
That is definitely the South.
Within 90 days, that wedding of 300 plus guests was planned and in order. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Looking back at it now, and that's just the way.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be frank. That is the way it went down. Looking back at it now, though, the wedding was for everybody else, right? But the marriage was for us. So the wedding, the ceremony, all that shit that went up and down all around the world was for everybody. But the marriage was for us, and it really just took an assertive, you know, effort to want to make the marriage work. Because I done put him out plenty of fucking times.
Put him on blast.
I'm sleeping in the car. Well, go to the car. But
I love you.
I know, I love you too. But it takes growth, right? So, like I said, the woman that he married 16 years ago, I don't know who that little girl was, right? So the person I am today is not going to be the person I am 5 years from now. And what I'm learning as we go along with this marriage is, how do I tell him what I expect from my love language, right? So if I expect flowers once a week, I'm telling you, I expect those flowers once a week, right? If I expect a kiss in the morning, I'm telling you, I expect that kiss in the morning. If I tell you I expect, whatever it is I expect, I'm telling you that. I'm communicating it. So at the end of the day, if you don't do it, if you don't fit that bill, I told you what I wanted.
That's something I had to learn. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I had to learn it because I'm not affectionist.
Affectionate.
Yeah, that word. I ain't that person.
Intelligent.
I don't think I ever just was that kind of person, but it's something I learned throughout the years. Like I said, when we got married, you know, I was young and dumb.
He didn't have to do it, and I didn't Make
I
him.
used to old enough.
But nah,
Hey,
Y'all rough on here.
But
Y'all rough on here.
I was
hey,
like, she
nah,
was like,
we
we
grew
were talking
together.
about some flowers every day. I was like, I better plant some in the backyard or something. I was like, the flowers ain't cheap.
Hey, I'll bring a dandelion if I want to.
And I'm a candy
And she
line.
gonna say, "Goddamn, why the grass ain't cut?"
Try to get these weeds up.
Now check this, man. Let's move over to Dre and Aaron. You know, what was the love story with you guys, man? How did that happen? Y'all, you know, newer married, so a newer way of getting married. So how did it happen with y'all?
Go ahead and tell the love story.
Actually, we actually met on Black People Meet,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually going to St. Patty's for in Savannah for St. Patty's weekend. You know, they had a big event down there. So you know me, you know how we do from the river. I put my search on Savannah, Georgia, and got to clicking around on some profiles, and I ran across her profile. I shot out a message. Hold on, y'all.
Uh-oh, somebody want to get her shine in. She don't have enough camera time. But you know, I want to jump in for a second because the way Dre was saying, you know, they met online, and I think the difference and now you can correct me if I'm wrong, you know, meeting online, you get a chance to actually talk to the person before you actually meet, and so you get to know if you have some common interests. You know, you guys got to know and figure out, and I'm saying this from the woman's perspective because I know Dre just looked on the picture and Dre said, "Oh, she good looking."
Right.
So
well, to speak on that, we did a lot of communicating like via the email or the messenger, but I refused to give him my telephone number. I was like, we're gonna talk through here. I'm not just giving you my telephone number because you're coming to Savannah next week. Like, let's talk. And if you are consistent for this next week or two, via communicating via here, then we'll go from there. But I was very adamant about let me fill you out before I just pass out my telephone number. So he was a little standoffish. He didn't like that.
So it took 8 days instead of six.
No, it probably was about.
No, it was a couple weeks.
It was a couple weeks, yeah. It was a couple weeks.
Okay.
And even then, like he threw me the line that, you know, my membership's about to end, so here's my number and contact me.
Hit the free trials. Hit them with their free trials.
She was like, I ain't gonna give you a number in the first week, but 2.5.
Right. Well, it's not even that, but it's like if you're on, when you're online dating, it's a different type of atmosphere. So you're not gonna give your telephone number out to everyone that jumps in your inbox just because you have a
Yeah, that's
conversation.
true. I got you.
But Aaron, I don't even know how to date in today's society.
Well, girl, you ain't lying.
It's hard.
It's different, completely different atmosphere. I guess the way that you get to know people is completely different dating now than it was when we were dating 20 years ago, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
and
I
even
would.
for us, like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you finish.
No, I was gonna say, so that was 2016, and we met downtown Savannah, hung out. I think I went to Columbia like once or twice for a date, but there was no sparks. Nothing. It wasn't any bad blood. It was just nothing was really there. So we went our separate ways. 2017 rolled back around, and if you know anything about Savannah and St. Patrick's Day, it's a huge celebration. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people in Savannah. So we hadn't spoke, and literally I looked up, and one of my girlfriends was like, "Is that Andre over there?" I hadn't spoke to him in almost a year, and sure enough, it was him. We went through the same hoopla, went on a date or two, still nothing. I think at the time we just decided we didn't want to do long distance, and once again went our separate ways. And then 2018 ran into each other again out the blue in Savannah, and we've been together ever since then. But what I did tell him was that if we go on another date, this is going to be my last date with you. The third one is going to be the last one. Like, we're not going to keep doing this. Oh,
Three
sorry.
strikes you out. What's your church say, Dre? 3 strikes you out.
Yeah.
No.
That is what you're
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Two strikes you out.
Is that Andre? You know, don't nobody call him Andre.
I'm sorry, what y'all G5
I
monster?
will say, Aaron,
Is that Andre?
you're more familiar with what you like and what you don't like, right? You're able to set those parameters around it. And that's when you said, okay, I'm gonna give it one more try. And then after this, if those sparks don't exist, when you're like 19, 20, you don't even know what the sparks are, right?
Right.
You have
But being 35, 36.
That's a vast difference about getting married later in life. Like pretty much, this is how I say it. If he and I weren't together, I'm not planting seeds at 40 and watching nothing grow. It's got to come bouquet in order, okay, at 40. But 19, 20 is different. You don't even know which bouquet to pick, right? So it's a lot different. But I love that you were able to really decide what you like and what you don't like because you understood what it was for yourself.
Right. And I think even after we had that I call it our third first date, and it was June 2nd, 2018, I remember, and we had a conversation, and we both said that if within a year, if we weren't at that engaged point or married, that we would go our separate ways. Like I said, I was older, he was older. I had a son at the time, or I have a son, but I was a single mom, so I knew what I was looking for. And I mean, he proposed within 6 months, and literally June 14th is when we got married. So we was almost to a year to the date that we got married to that first date. So
to answer your question, that's the difference between, like you said, in the getting married. I don't want to call it older because it's not necessarily older. You know exactly what you want versus,
Hey, she knew she wanted me.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Hey, Michelle, I will say that.
Hey,
you were at the start the hardest out of everybody.
Baby Grace.
That was Baby Grace.
No, we have two stories. Tell the story that we tell people out in the street. This is on a podcast.
Okay, yeah, I met her at the gas station. Pump the gas.
Gas station.
Yeah, gas station. I helped her pump gas.
Hey, wait a minute, man. Couple episodes ago. Couple
On the
episodes ago, didn't Cherie tell me? Cherie and Shauna said you can't talk to women at the gas station.
Yeah, she said don't holler at me at no gas station.
Oh man,
I'm gonna pump my
Hey,
gas.
to each his own, right?
Hey, that's what I'm saying, Michelle. Did he pump your gas? Did he pay for it? I don't. You pumping gas?
No, we were at a club, and we met each other, and I told him if he wanted to find my number, he would.
I said, hey, come here, guy.
Right? He lying. He didn't do it like that. He said,
find me, boo. She said, find me. If you want me, you find me.
Find it, and he found it, and I was working at Hollick Myers on Broad River Road.
And Greystone.
Yeah. And he came visit me, and that's how we kind of got together. But I was
you had to do some. You had to do some work to find you back then. There's no
yeah, well, no, and girl, let me tell you, honey, I get back to school, right? So I'm telling all my friends, and I'm like, yep, girl, if I ever had a child, it'd be by him. I found my baby daddy. This is the joke, right? So one of my friends was like, you can't talk to him. So what do you mean you can't? I can't talk to him. And she's like, no, you can't talk to him because he used to deal with my cousin. And I said, well, that's your cousin, not mine.
I don't know your cousin, boo. I don't know your cousin.
And ever since then, we was kind of, I was coming home every couple of weekends.
my Florida girl coming home.
So Michelle, you said that was your baby daddy before that was your baby daddy?
Girl, I picked him. I'm looking at teeth. I'm looking at jeans. I need to know who the mom and daddy is.
Don't worry about it, because I used to, when we was in college, because that's where we met, at the University of Memphis. And before we even got like deep in our relationship, I used to call him my baby daddy before we had kids. Before anything.
I hated it.
He hated it. And I'd be like, y'all seen my baby daddy? Hated it. He hated it.
That's interesting. You brought that up. Both of you guys being athletes from Memphis. So how did that happen? You two met in college at Memphis State. Well, I'm sorry, I keep saying Memphis State, but it's all good. It's Memphis. So how did that happen? You being a star athlete and him being a bench warmer. How did you feel about dating a scrub?
You've always been a hater your whole life.
He's trying it tonight. He is trying.
When my little baby was a star, and I was on the track team. So we was at of course we had study hall and everything. And funny story is my roommate had a big crush on him, and she was about 6'2", 350, shot putter. Love her some Chance Nesbitt. All I heard is Chance this, Chance that.
I hate to say it, but that's his style.
Don't big girl, what you gonna do?
That what Chan be checking for.
Little mama had a crush on Chance. That's all I heard. She was from Texas, and of course he from South Carolina, from Memphis, and they both hated it. So I'm like, why y'all here? Like, why are y'all here? So she always wanted to see Chance and talk about Chance or whatever. But I didn't know we was friends. We was friends. And then summertime came. We was in a study hall together, or the computer lab, and he on college club. Is that what it's called?
College club.
College club. He reaching out to his people. I'm reaching out to my folks, and like I said, we were like 2 computers away from each other. He said nothing to me but hey. And then so leaving out, he sends me an email. Back in the day, 19, 20 years old, he says, "Can we get together? No strings attached." I mean, we can do no strings attached.
Like
that. I mean, something like that, but nothing like that. So we've been together ever since the strings attached, because I put some strings on it.
I was gonna say y'all definitely attached some strings if y'all still together after all this time.
We put them strings on them. So.
Man, that's interesting, man. Check this out. We want to hold on one quick second. Man. We want to take a quick commercial break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back right here on the RIP 28 podcast. This is the RIP 28 podcast.
Hey, I'm Jay Little, the owner of Forward Counseling and Consulting. We're a consulting and coaching firm who believes in the TLC method: truth, love, and community. Whether coaching corporate clients, individual clients, or engaging in individual counseling and group counseling, we believe that you can be more than what you are today by finding your truth, love, and community. You can reach us at www.forwardcc.net or give us a call at 803-457-5413. I'm
Welcome back to the RIP 28 podcast. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we're going to keep on talking about them. And right now, this is the couples edition. This is the love edition, love and marriage edition of the RIP 28 podcast. One thing we did, we wanted all of our, the reason this was brought up, and we don't see in the chat, the reason this was brought up was we posted a question in our chat: what should we talk about this week? And a person came up with the idea of talking about the love languages, talking about your love language. And we said, okay, well, we can talk about our love language, but if we're going to talk about love languages, we might as well bring in the wives. We might as well bring in the wives and let the wives talk about the love languages too. Hey, we see everybody out there. We want to shout out who out there: Samantha, Terrell. We see you talking. What up, Mike? Well, former guest Mike. We got Sylvia, Regina. We see all y'all out there. But anyway, sorry, we had to stop about that. But anyway, there are 5 love languages. It's a book out there, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't read the book. Just to keep it real. I ain't read the book. But there are 5 love languages. One of them is words of affirmation. Second one is gifts. The third one is acts of service. 4th, quality time. 5, physical touch. Now, what we want to do, man, we want to start off with the couples, and we want to ask everybody, what are your love languages? How does this work? How does that work with y'all? And did everybody take the test? First of all, we got, my people. Did everybody take the test?
We took the test.
You took the test?
Yeah, we did. We took it a while back.
I keep repeating, did everybody take the test? Because obviously one of these motherfuckers ain't take the test. Or they just took the test.
Okay, we ain't. Okay. Okay, let me tell you what happened was.
What had happened was.
You didn't tell me.
I was kind of.
That's what we was talking about, communication now, that communication.
Listen, so you see at the bottom say, Coach Bennett, I had some meeting going on today. We in the playoffs. The playoffs.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
And that kind of, you know.
I'm a coach's wife. This is my single parent time of the year. So I understand that. All
Been there, done that.
I got you. I got you.
I'm sorry.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's start off with Aaron and Dre. What are y'all love languages?
So mine's are, actually we took it when we first started dating too. So it's funny because this is one of the things that we discussed early on. But my top two are going to be acts of service and then gift giving.
Acts of
and so
service.
I always like to clarify with the acts of service that sometimes comes across a little tricky. But acts of service are just, things around the house or little things just to help me out. So if it's filling up the gas tank because it's low, folding up the clothes because the laundry's been done, like those are acts of service.
Okay, and see that throws me off when it says acts of service. Are they acts of service to you, or are they acts of services that you're doing? That's
acts of service to help me. So if I'm always, running around, washing clothes, folding clothes, running to the grocery store, like whatever, anything that I'm constantly doing, an act of service is him taking that off of my load.
Okay.
So it would have to be something that I normally do that he's taking care of.
Girl, why are you looking like that over there?
Just women.
You look like what? The same way I like that damn podcast.
So basically, if he helping you out with the woman's work, he helping you out.
Why does it have to be woman's work?
I said that just. I got the reaction I want. I said that just for Tanisha. I said that just for Tanisha.
There ain't no woman's work. It's called household work. It's called standing.
Don't strike out, Sylvester. Don't do it,
Don't try. You tried it. You tried it real quick.
No. Aaron, I'm trying to be nice because Sylvester is on my list.
A little bit of background. Now this is how people hold grudges for 20 years. I said something 20 years ago to Tanisha about being in the kitchen, and she ain't never forgot about it.
You got me messed up, Sean.
20 years.
You got me messed up.
Hey,
let me tell you. No, She let me know when I met her on Fripp. She was like, kitchen's over there, you refrigerator, drinks, ice. I was like, this is my type of girl right here. Thank you. You ain't gotta tell me but once. I'll go right in the kitchen and get it myself.
Now let's shout out.
Let's make yourself at home though. Let's make yourself at home.
That's what you said. You said you at home.
You family. When you cross my door, except for Sylvester, you at home.
All right. Let's bring it back. Now, Dre, what are your love languages?
Oh, mine's basic physical touch. Like I ain't really looking for much, just a little contact.
So when you took the test, now it's easy for you to say physical touch now, but when I took that test, when you took the test, did it come out to physical touch? Did it come out when you took the test?
Originally, yes, but I just took it probably like 20 minutes before we got on the show, and it flipped the acts of service, and I'm sitting there looking like, okay, but
that's evolution, evolving. Maybe what he enjoyed 4 years ago when we first took it is different than, now. But
okay, a little bit of growth from Dre, a little bit of growth. Now let's go on the other side. Now, Chance and Tanisha, man, what are your love languages?
Hey, wait, y'all know me.
I don't know you. I don't know you like that, bro.
Like this. Physical touch is mine also.
And mine is act of service.
And it just.
Michelle and Anton, y'all trying to take the test right now?
Yeah, that's it.
Y'all look so guilty. Act of service is mine. I'm with Aaron. Like, just take it. It surprised me when like if I'm having a hard day or a big day, I come home and my boo done fold the laundry, boy, it's going down. I'm like, boy, you done clean the house out? Oh my goodness, I ain't got to do that. So we got a little extra time to do whatever you want to do.
Now you want to give him that physical touch.
What you want to do, physical? It's going down. You picked up the kids? Okay.
But I think you know certain things though. I think Chance should get bonus points for that, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because Chance is the baby. Chance is, you know, his sister's way older than him, so his whole life Chance probably been catered for. You know, he's been catered to his whole life. So if he step out and he doing things like that, man, it's kind of out of his well to be doing stuff like that, and he making the effort. So yeah, get that man bonus points for that.
Yeah,
But they've been together 20 years almost too, though. So you can't say maybe what
Hey,
stop
stop trying to bring logic into this now. Come on, now.
You're right, Aaron. You're right.
Y'all invite the wives on.
You're right.
Y'all get the other side of that.
I really think on to something though. You have to understand how people are reared. You have to understand, you know, what they were exposed to growing up. Because there are some things, sometimes your love languages just don't relate. And it's difficult for them to, you know, to understand that because they've never been exposed to it. Right. So I don't know if that's Chance's situation, right? But if you, let's say you grew up you're an only child, you may not understand the need of sharing or accepting responsibility. He just took the test. I finished before him. But that is true. And that's one thing I'm learning just with interacting with people. Some things they're just not exposed to in their childhood. So they don't relate to it in adulthood.
Right.
Now since y'all just took the test, now what are y'all's love language?
What's yours? Mine? Okay, you go first.
Mine is affirmation.
Mine is words of affirmation too.
So y'all got to communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate.
I tell you, baby.
So sometimes I feel like I just need to know that you support me in what it is that I'm doing, right? So if I'm, like I said, I'm a coach's wife. So certain times a year, I'm by myself. It is what it is. I'm taking kids where they need to go by myself. I'm doing everything in the house by myself. And that just comes with the responsibilities of a coach's wife. But you don't always get the gratitude, right? The coach wins the championship, they get the praise, but not the person that kept the house running. So sometimes I think that's more important to me. When I get it and I feel it, the physical is easy.
Right, it come naturally.
That's gonna come naturally. But when I'm not feeling it and I don't feel appreciated, the physical kind of goes to the backside. I'm a woman. I can put mine on the back burner whenever I feel like it. So
Hey, well, but you know, y'all kind of skipped over me in this whole situation here.
I thought you just said physical touch.
Yeah, but y'all didn't let me talk.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead and talk.
So, you know, I understand the affirmation and all that talking. You ain't got to say nothing to me. Just show me what you're working with. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, we having a good time. We good. Everything else is copacetic.
Y'all see, he want me to swing from the chandelier and the ceiling fans all day long.
That's your job.
Else is copacetic.
I'm like, all right, you can talk all that junk you want, but about 9 o'clock, I ain't got my watch on, but about 9 o'clock tonight,
be ready.
Get down on it.
Be ready to do what you're supposed to do.
Hey, everything we argued about earlier today is all good.
Now let me ask you a question. What do you do as couples to work with your partner's love language? You know what your partner wants, you know what your partner we just took the test. What adjustments do you make to reach your partner's love language? Who won't jump in? Dre, you leaned up. What's up? What do you do, Dre, for your partner's love language?
I mean, for me, it ain't really hard for me to really jump in. Like, my wife works second shift, and I work pretty much, depending on our schedule, I work half the month. So on my days off, it's easy for me to step in, and take care of some of the tasks that she would take care of, on the day-to-day or whatever. So that's part of the acts of service part. You know, I kind of step in. So like I said, I got the time. I'm available to do it. And even like when I work the first half of the day, I'm getting off in the evening. You know, I still can come home, cook sometime or whatever. You know, hold the fort down until she get off of work. So
I would say though, I think with us being like one of the newer couples, obviously in this group, for us, it took us a while to realize, because we have two different love languages, you have to learn to cater to your mate's love language. Like a lot of times, for me, I know in the beginning, like since gift giving is one of my love languages, I would always be like, oh, I saw this for you, or pick this up, or order this. And I realized it was because I was wanting that in return. But I had to realize like that's not his love language. So I can't always buy him things if that's not one of his love languages. So I think the biggest thing is adapting to and realizing that you have to cater to your other one's love language versus trying to always do your love language.
Joy was like, man, that's $12.99.
You said it's what?
You were like, that's $12.99. You could have saved it.
Ain't no $12.99, right? Y'all, if y'all know anything about Dre, he is not cheap.
Yeah, Dre like to shine. That's what I say about Dre. My boy don't mind shining. He don't mind shining.
One of
This
the
one
things
over here?
that have worked for us, I want to say, I've noticed it in the past 5-6 years, okay, is understanding and accepting the fact that everything is not going to be good, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're just off. He hasn't done anything, I haven't done anything, but we could be sitting in the same room with each other and shit's just off, right? So when we have those off periods, actually being able to talk to each other and say, you know, maybe we need to just do something with each other. Maybe we need to spend a little bit of time with each other. Because one thing, I have a lot of married friends. We actually don't really hang with that many people that aren't married. And I'm not talking about dating. I'm talking about married, because the dating people, they go in and out too much. So I'm talking about married friends. Thank you. Everybody experiences off times. So how do you understand that you're having your off period? How do you rebound from that? What do you do to put in a work to get back from that off time? And I ain't saying I went through no phones and found nothing, or he found anything, because that stuff exists, right? But when you have an off area, it's easy for distractions to come into a relationship, right? So how do you interject within that off time to understand, okay, yeah, we ain't vibing right now. Let's put in some work so we can vibe again.
We ain't on the same page.
Yeah.
So do y'all do like date nights? Because that's what we try to incorporate. I know you're a coach's wife, and then when Chance coached, he coached for 9 years, and so it was kind of off of hard. Even now, like sometimes you just don't feel like it. You got kids, you got errands, you got jobs. So that's what we try to do at least once a month. We try to do a date night so you can make sure you keep that connection, because I mean, it was something that attracted y'all to each other. Not saying you per se, but just like couples, period. Yeah. You got to make that time, like you were saying, for each other. If
yeah.
You gotta live in the country.
And when you realize it so easily, can your communications become about the kids and their schedule, or what's going on with work, or bills, household stuff? That is your only communication, right? So for a minute, Anton had like 2 phones. He had his work cell phone, then he had his personal cell phone. If he was texting me something from his personal cell phone, don't text me shit about anything that got to do with it. I want the good morning text messages. I love you text messages. Let's send those nice pictures. Those kind of messages.
She said nice.
Don't forget to pick up the kids. Don't forget to drop off Leah's gymnastics student. We had to kind of separate it. And it worked for us for a while. But it actually allowed us time to identify how much time we spend on we're business partners. Let me put it like that. We're business partners. Our shit works. We are business partners. And when it comes to the business of our household and our family, it works, right? But what we have to put in more effort and work towards is the love portion, right? And that's where we continuously work on that more, because when it comes to the business portion, that clicks. We got it. We're on one accord. So that's one reason, one of the things I think that just benefits us as a couple to last a little longer. And he went to go get a charger because the 11-year-old been on a tablet all day.
That's how it be. All day. The kids gonna take your energy up on these phones.
Look, my motto is fuck them kids.
Say that, girl.
Say it again.
Hey, I said, this.
Hey, Chance trying to put our babies out since they was 5. So.
Hey, let me tell you, it's some days I'm just like, woo. When you got two different ends of the spectrum, we got one at the fair. He's old enough to do what he wants to do. And then we got little mama over here that's like, I'll run the show, but I really don't run the show because y'all still need to feed me and change me.
You run the show.
I'm glad y'all brought up parenting in this right now, because I know we're talking about love and marriage, but kids are part of that love and marriage, and we got a wide age range, and we got Chance and Tanisha with the oldest. I think what Cheyenne is 19. Yeah, she's 19 and
19, 16, 10.
And Jacob and baby girl, Jacob 16 and 12 or something like that. 15
and 11.
15 and 11, and Dre's oldest boy, was he 17? 17?
No, he's 15.
15 and 2. So now when it comes to child rearing and being a parent, we got different situations. Now Dre came in as a second dad. We don't like to say stepdad, but he came in as a second dad, so how did you, when you two were starting to date, how did the whole thing of child rearing, and how did you decide on Dre being a dad? I mean, how did you feel about Dre being a dad to your oldest when you first started dating?
I mean, to be honest, so my son's father, he's not really actively involved, so it wasn't like Dre didn't have to worry about someone else being there for my son, or our son, should I say. My father has been kind of like that constant male role model for him. So it was easy for Dre to step in my eyes, to be that person, because Caleb initially looked at Dre like, oh, he's younger than Poppy. He's, has a little bit more speed than Poppy. He's going to do things with me that Poppy doesn't necessarily do. So it wasn't hard for me to allow Dre to be that physical person there. And of course, being a single mom, I have my way of raising him. And then Dre, being a man, of course, had different views when it comes to raising a boy. So we had to have those, I won't say tough conversations, but we had those conversations to where we both had to understand our parenting views and find that happy median. And there's some days I have to let him be the man and do what he needs to do, and vice versa. So it wasn't a hard decision.
So he called your daddy Poppy. What he called Dre?
Mr. Dre.
I mean, I came into his life at 12. What?
Yeah.
So let him call me daddy?
Yeah, he did. That is a late for a new dude come in talk about daddy. Nah, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
You better be glad.
Don't get me wrong, he knows his father too. So yeah, he knows his dad. So he does have dad around, but he's just not a constant.
I mean, like in my case,
what you call Dre?
that's the alcohol talking now. But anyway, like I'm coming. I had a stepfather. You know what I'm saying? So
those
he ain't been no example. So you know what I'm saying. I already knew how I was. You know what I'm saying, to have a stepfather just off the rip, but I knew how I was to have a bad stepfather. So you know what I'm saying. So of course I was able to present something different from experiencing it firsthand.
Hey Dre, you recently we was at the strip club all the time.
Somebody, Tanisha, Move your husband away.
Okay, man. Go ahead. Next question. Go to the
Move.
next question.
Y'all let him slow down. Y'all let him go too fast.
Y'all going? You on another topic? We not talking about strip clubs.
He plays so much. Okay,
but check this out, man. You brought up a real good point, Dre. You know, you already having the experience of being raised, you know, with a stepfather. You know, so you took lessons from your stepdad on what to do and what not to do, and when it comes to raising Caleb. That's, you know, raising your boy. That's a good point. That's a good point. Now let's move on to the other side, man. Let's talk about Ton and Shell. Now, how do you all handle your different parenting viewpoints? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, y'all kids been together from the rip. Y'all been together from the rip. So how do y'all come up with figuring who's right, how to punish my man Jacob when he step out of line? You know what I'm saying? How y'all figure, how do y'all come to this agreement? How y'all figure this out?
I asked this. All right. So with the kids kind of see me as the they can kind of come to me and I say, go talk to your mama. And the mama is she pretty much puts the foot down. But when I have to be that strong, just disciplinary pops, I can be that. You know what I mean? But you know, I kind of just want to be somebody they can come talk to at all times. You know, and just I'm not gonna say a friend of theirs because I'm the dad. But I know how to turn the switch at all times, all right? But Shell is the goddamn, she puts the foot down.
You can tell Shell moving. She like this. She like this.
We listen, the 11-year-old is not an issue. Not right now. Okay. That 15-year-old, he's testing me. Okay. But dad is dad and he's coach. So mom has to I have to play that medium right now for them because he's dad and he's coach, right? So poor Jacob, he sees him at school, he sees him at practice, he gonna get it at home, he get it from all areas, right? But put it like this. We don't disagree when it comes to the kids.
Right.
We're gonna get together. They can't play us against each other.
Not at all.
Right? You can't say, well, mom said or dad said. When it comes to the kids, they cannot play us against each other, and they will try. Mm-hmm. They're gonna try, you know. So, but that's one thing we're really, really good with. Just actually, we will go into conference. All right, how we want to handle this situation.
Yeah, you have to.
How do you want to handle?
And the minor thing when I say, go ask your mama. I just feel like I ain't got time for this right now.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Jake is a DJ now, right? So he's DJing parties and stuff. Okay. So he was DJing a party, 16-year-old party, late at night. He said, Ma, dad said, you guys know this, mom, dad said, ask you, can I go spend the night at XYZ house? I said, well, check, I don't care. Little did we know XYZ mama wasn't home. Over there, the after party to the party was at XYZ house. I said, we wasn't on one accord. Yeah. Why'd you just send them to me? Right? We gotta be together.
I said,
right. He played y'all. He did.
He played shit out of. So we're coming to the fact, and I guess it's just one of those things where you learn how to be the parent, but we got to be on one accord at all times because them kids will play the shit out of you.
They sure will. They sure will.
All I'm saying on that one is the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Don't do that, right? Where's LeBron?
Hey, Dre said I done seen that before. It's just repetitive.
Let me tell you, Aaron, I hear about a story of them jumping out of second story, third story apartment complex window.
Let me tell you, when we go to Columbia, Dre is like, oh, that's that house. And then did I tell you that story? And then, oh man, remember, I got a call. So I'm like,
hey,
no.
You thought he was coming in the hood? They go Todd house, they go Mike live at, they go Monique them house.
That's where everybody hung out after school before, football practice. And then we had this, and then so-and-so's mama. I mean, I hear all that stuff when we go back to Columbia.
I think that's part of being a parent, though. So some stuff we understand, right? We hear when the shit pops off, and we're like, damn, I've been there before. I've been there before. You know what I mean? But stuff like, yeah, but you got to be smarter than that. Let's not get caught.
Right.
Because you've had those experiences, though, you're able to speak to your experiences. So for us, I'm always like, the first time you do something, I'm not going to snap out. I'm not going to, beat your ass or anything like that. We're going to have a discussion about it because been there, done that. Now you repeat it, that's a different situation.
Right.
But, I think that's, in order to be an effective parent, you have to be able to remember you've been there, you've done that, If your child wake up in a bad mood, guess what? I still got bad moods some days. So I'm not about to, be nasty and be upset with you because everyone's entitled to have their feelings, and our children, they're gonna make mistakes, but it's about us being there to catch them. And
I think our journey though with our marriage, when it comes to our marriage always comes first. Our kids are secondary. So if we're good, they're gonna be good. And this is just my philosophy. This is just how I feel.
No, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Yeah, this is how we feel.
That's real talk though. That's real talk.
Right, the shit trickles down, right?
Yeah.
So if we're good and things are working in the way we feel it needs to work, the kids are gonna fall in place. They're adaptable, right?
That's real talk.
So I'm really looking forward to what our marriage looks like when there are no kids here anymore. Right. They're gone, they grow up. Because one thing that we're still gonna have is our marriage, right?
Never wearing clothes.
Hey, I was talking to Tom the other day. He's like, y'all finna get another one in about a year.
I'm gonna have to mute him again.
He said,
the liquor done kicked in. He talking so low.
I'm about to mute him again.
So it's okay.
He said, y'all got one more in y'all.
Nah.
But and another thing I will say though, especially when you have marriages with kids involved, a lot of us experience the same things. And we think it's our own isolated issues that we have going on, right? Right. But it's probably about no more than 5 or 6 types of issues that we experience. And we're all experiencing the same things and we don't even realize it. The way we handle it is different, but the issues themselves are the same, right? So I wish we would have more interaction with other married couples, other families, because you learn from each other. No need to reinvent the wheel if you don't need to.
Girl, you better call us because I'm telling you, we got a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 10-year-old. That 19-year-old boy, I'm talking about head knocker. That is mini-me, and we go through some things. We got her back. She good. But you right. When you say you go through the same thing other parents are going through, your kid ain't the only one experienced the only thing. You be like, am I doing the right thing as a parent? Lord Jesus.
Right. It's like, where did I fuck up?
Right. But it ain't us, it's them. It ain't us, it's them.
Right. It's their friends, it's the peer pressure, it's social media, it's reality TV.
Right.
It's all these other factors that they have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah, but we ain't the only ones going through it. So girl, just like this couple edition, you better call it. We're gonna have a group chat, put us in there. Be like, let me tell you what this fool did today.
Right.
It's so many marriages that don't last because of the disconnect that happens sometimes with just rearing children.
Right.
And the marriages don't survive it.
Right, because a lot of couples try to put their kids first, and like you said, when they grown and gone and got their own stuff going on, it's still y'all, or it's supposed to still be y'all.
Supposed to be. Yeah. But let's be real. I know a lot of couples that have been married for years and years, and as soon as on like out of college, gone out the house, they get divorced because they just don't understand who they are without the kids attached to them.
Right.
Right.
So
I can't function without the kids.
That's interesting. You brought that up, because I know I got a teammate of mine. He about to get divorced. His kids left, and he say, "Man, I'm ready to leave too." That's interesting. You brought that up, man. we talked about a bunch of different issues, you know, with marriage and how marriage works and everything. One thing I want to talk about now is the technology in marriage. And what I mean by the technology in marriage, man, we're watching this on Facebook Live and Instagram and all of that, man. I see couples who have a couples Instagram page or a couples Facebook page, man. How do y'all deal with that? How do y'all deal with the challenges of oh God? Let's skip that question. What's the weather like? What's the weather like outside?
No, we're gonna talk about that. So I see a lot of couples that have like it'll be. I'm gonna use us for it'll be a Chance and a T Nesbitt page. Chance got his friends. I got my friends. He got his circle. He got his football. He got y'all high school people. I ain't fooling with that. You have your own space. You got your own stuff because I am a person. Even though we're together as one, I was a person without you. Not saying that I want to be without you, but you need your own outlet. So I don't need you checking. Don't check up on my friends. Y'all got your own titles, and I might not agree with everything that your friends say. You might not agree with everything my friends say. You still your own person. You was your own person before you became one. So separate that. All that togetherness and who liking your stuff and not liking your stuff and commenting and all that. No, hell no. You still your own person because you need a break. I say you get your own, go on boys trip, go on girls trip. You need a refresher so you can miss each other so y'all can come back together and love each other.
Pause that. What did she said go on a boys trip, go on a fellas trip. Okay.
Taking your boys trip, I'm gonna take my girls trip.
It don't never happen though.
Got you. Hey,
y'all don't make it happen.
Get your stuff together.
we got the stamp. We got the stamp of approval.
You need me to help you plan it? I'll help y'all plan it.
That's the only way it gonna happen though. We gotta have somebody plan it.
Hey, go on, you go on, because guess what? Just as long as you take your trip, I can take my trip too.
We gotta go tomorrow.
He said fishing.
So y'all gonna follow Ann Shell's.
No, we're not. He don't need to see you in my inbox.
We call Ann Shell's.
And Shell, a Shell Tom.
My restaurant.
Man.
Yeah, like you gotta have separation.
I'm from Jersey. That's home, right? So South Carolina is not originally home. So there's a whole nother life of people that he doesn't even really know that much. But I concur. I don't think
find them now.
Chapley. I think there needs to be a separation. You're an individual person first. So your partner doesn't make you whole, right? You need to be whole already. And you and your partner add to each other's life. I get confused sometimes. Like, who the fuck am I inboxing when we got all these different people? Who's responding, right? I mean, come on now. It's just too much. I don't think it's, and if you have a business or something like that, that's a completely different entity. But when it comes to just social media, I mean, you do what you want to do. If that's the direction you want to go, fine. Let's talk about it, which is another conversation. If that's the direction you want to go, entertain people or somebody else, let's go that direction, or let's talk about it. But communicate with me. Don't let me get caught out there in the wind and I don't know what's going on in your life, right? But if that's not the direction you want to go, just don't respond to those messages. We get them on every day from randoms. Just don't respond.
Okay. Now, how y'all two feel about, since you two met on the internet, how do y'all feel about the internet profiles?
Yeah, I mean, I think we both have social media. I don't think we would ever do a joint couples thing. I mean, I don't feel like there's a need for it. It's like, I mean, much like everyone else, like Dre has his friends, I have my friends. And it just is what it is. I mean, I mean, me personally, we're friends with each other on social media, so we see what's going on. But like everyone else said, we both are our own individuals before we met each other. So just like, you know, he likes his sports and football and fantasy football, you know, he has a lot of sports things that he reposts, whereas I'm a pictures and fashion like reposter. So I think that we both are into two totally different things anyways, that would probably make it impossible to really have a joint anything.
Yeah, plus I'm big on like, I feel like, when you're married as a husband, you're supposed to protect the home and all this, that, and the third. So it's like, I feel like as a part of protecting the home, like I don't need none of my boys in my wife's friend list. Cause I'm be honest with you, I'm real sensitive when it comes to my woman. Like you send her a personal message, I'm like, what the fuck is up? Like I ain't even finna, I don't want you even ask her how she doing, you need to ask her nothing. And I feel the same way. Like I don't need none of her girls in my inbox on some, oh hey Dre, how things going? I looked at your post, like what I need that from you for? Like I don't need your support. So it's just like me, it's just like she say, you got your friends that you had previously. I got my friends I had previously, and we keep that apart. Like you said, we follow each other, therefore, we can look at each other's page or whatever the case may need to be. But outside of that, it don't need to be no intertwining with friends because it can get real messy. Like it could be like one of her friends could be friends with the chick I smashed 15 years ago. And oh girl, Dre used to talk such, blah, 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 she did, she that. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden there's a problem in my household. And I'm looking at her like, what? That was 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, all that stuff be unnecessary because that's like the first thing I do. Like, since one of her friends had an inbox, hurry up and show you them mutual friends. And of course, I'll see some chick, especially from somewhere around in South Carolina. Oh, nope. I ain't gonna be their friend anyway, but I just laugh because I can already see her, the friend, being like, oh, I didn't know Dre knew such. She this or she that, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to avoid everything. And I don't need none of my homeboys sending her no mess. So some happy birthday.
You real sensitive on that, bro.
I was gonna say,
because I know dudes is. I'm a dude, and y'all some dudes. I know y'all.
That sounds like you.
Ain't nobody no sensitive. Y'all know how it go down. Ain't nobody playing. Don't play stupid because you're in front of your lady. You know how it go down.
Let me ask you,
Jump in front of you, jump in your chick inbox and act like they ain't did that. Nah, I'm good on that. You missed me with that, dog.
Some lady friends of ours not too long ago. We have some lady friends and some of them are married and some of them are single. We had some of the single friends say, hey, if we saw, and this is not anything in particular, but if we saw one of your significant others, your husband, boyfriend, whatever, and it appeared like they were out with somebody else, would you want us to let you know? And here's my response to them, and this is my response on social media. Now, because whatever is going on, I already know. I don't need somebody kind of intervening in my household. Let me handle things how I need to handle things in my household. And that's just how I feel about it, right? So I'll never let somebody on social media or who you're friends with or somebody else try to dictate what's going on in my household. It's bigger than that over here. Twitter is not a real person, right? Instagram's not a real person. So because it's bigger than that over here, you're not going to wreck shop, right? And that's how I had to tell him. I mean, you don't know. Sometimes you think you've seen something, but you really don't know what you're looking at. It could be he's out on a business meeting, or it could be, we don't know what we're looking at. So instead of trying to intervene in somebody's household and cause ruckus, just mind your fucking business. Be quiet. That shit. Whatever they got going on, that's what they got going on. And that's what I've realized with married couples, right? If you want to stay friends with another married couple, let them handle their household. Other than like domestic violence stuff, I don't do that at all. But anything else, it's not my business. Your household is your household. If you need me as a friend to help you with something, then I'm gonna help you. You will come to me, confide to me, and we'll be fine. But other than that, yeah, I would go on at 701, stay at 701. We're going over there, stay on over there. And that just kind of works best for us,
Gotcha.
So Tom and Drake. So if I was like, man, we finna have this little shebang party or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Tom and Drake. I don't want Tom and Drake to know about it. You know what I'm saying? So if I say, Michelle, Aaron, if I hit them up on Facebook and I say, hey, I'm finna have a party for these boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get mad about that? Cause I inboxed them.
That's where you go to your wife and say, hey, T, inbox Aaron.
But he
Inbox
just
this
said
Aaron.
that he don't want to.
Real dog. Come on now.
So my
Come on
thing
now.
is
Like,
that's the part that you wouldn't
like
want
that-
us to know about because I
They
mean
can
I'm gonna
possibly
be honest.
tell.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be honest. Like if you came at me like, hey, I'm doing something and I don't want T to know. T, let me tell you what Chance said. Like,
Nah, well, let me speak for Chance for a second. Let me speak
Hey,
for
for
Chance
real, though.
because Chance got that
you ain't about to
alcohol.
get my husband caught up in nothing.
No. Listen, I think y'all misunderstood the question because Chance, I speak fluent drunk, so I can break it down for what Chance said. I think what Chance meant was, let's say Chance and Tanisha throwing a party at the house, and they don't want Dre. It could be a surprise or something for Dre, and Chance hit you up in the inbox and say, hey, we throwing this party. Can you bring Dre along, but don't tell him about the party?
That's what I said, fool.
That's
But
what
you-
no, he translate for you. But the thing is,
so cool.
Dre is saying that that Chance don't need to reach out to Aaron.
Yeah, that's
He
what you
can
said,
tell
Dre.
me.
He can't even reach
Yeah,
out.
that's what he
That's
said.
what
That's
they
what
said.
my
God.
son
As friends. He's saying as friends.
Dre, I text LeBron last night and said, LeBron, I need you to go
Right,
get
but look
my
at the
face
longevity
this party.
of y'all friendship though. That's
So-
what I'm saying.
Oh no, but you can't judge friendship, right?
So basically, in
That's
20
what Chance
years,
said.
20 years, Chance, you can send an email to Aaron in
But I don't
20
even think it
years.
would be 20 years. But like, you
Right,
gotta
that's what
think
he's
about it.
saying.
Like, I've only I met Chance one time. The rest of you guys I've never physically met. So let's say we get some couples outings in, we come to each other's house, whatever. 2-3 years from now, it don't even have to be that long. But once you build some kind of rapport, then that's a totally different
Yeah,
thing. I think if Chance was having some kind of party tomorrow, he knows that, okay, Aaron and Dre have been to the house. T and Aaron hit it off. So T, reach out to Aaron. Because at the end of the day, I still would need to tell Dre, hey, T invited us to this, or hey, we going to see T and then whatever. Because I can't say, hey, we going to see Chance.
Yeah.
Well,
So I actually,
Well-
the girl who does my lashes, that you guys
I
bought.
don't think
I had a girl that does my lashes. Her husband is a diesel mechanic. Okay. Her friend reached out to her and said, hey, my boyfriend needs some work done on his truck. Can you tell your husband to text my boyfriend? And she says, I'll just give you my husband's number. Go ahead and just text him so he can do the connection. And she says, I don't do that. I don't text other men from my phone. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever.
I don't. That's too much.
If anything, she should just gave the number to her man and said, now you can text her.
I just think that's too many lines of communications. I just
At
don't
the
have
end
time
of the
for
day, it's about trust.
Yes.
At
I
the
don't
end
know.
of the day,
I call
it's
it
about
respect.
trust.
I call
think-
it respect. I don't call it trust. I think it's respect because, like me, like if say I jump off the cliff and I'm like, okay, I want to do something for T up here in Charleston, like I ain't gonna reach out to T directly. I'm gonna tell Aaron to do it because I respect Chance as a man first. You know what I'm saying? Then of course our friendship. Like it's not about like I don't want to communicate. Like even like with you, I'm cool as hell with you. I'm not gonna reach out to you directly. I'm gonna talk to Tom. That's out of respect. He a man. That man married you. He's supposed to protect this house. It shouldn't
I see your
no
point of
man
view.
should be able to invade
Yeah.
your space
It makes
so willingly and so easily that anybody can contact your woman. Like to me, that's crazy.
it makes
anybody.
sense.
It's not anybody. It's just I understand your point of view. I do understand the respect part. But as friends, if you are friends and y'all been friends since middle school, and I agree with Michelle. It's a trust thing because if you got trust in your household, you just got trust in your household. But then I do understand what you're saying about respect. But again, I look at it to this longevity in your friendship. If you secure in your household and you respect your friends, it shouldn't matter who reaches out to who. I agree on both sides. It's just
And I think the length of knowing somebody matters also because like suppose I wanted to know how to kill somebody and dispose of the body or something like that, I would definitely reach out to Tanisha because she's from Memphis.
You should.
Because Memphis they understand that and they know that And I wouldn't
As you
ask
should.
Chance because Chance comes from a humble background. He
He
don't
does.
do that.
As you should.
And if I
As
need to
you
know how to
should.
cook crack or something like that, I'll go to Michelle. That's what they learn in freshman at Johnson. That's a freshman course, cooking crack cocaine at CA Johnson. But I guess we do know for a fact we will never have a surprise party for Drake. We'll never have a surprise. We'll never have a surprise party. But hold on, man. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here on the RIP 28 podcast. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more on the RIP 28 podcast. All right, welcome back to the RIP 28 podcast. Now it's time for us to take a stroll down the 90s block. Can you holler at us, Coop? Holler at us about this 90s block.
All right, we're doing another episode of the 90s block. Like I always say, just make sure you walk on the right side of the street. But anyway, all right, we got three topics. We got one set for the ladies, and we got one set for the men. All right. So the first one's gonna be hairstyles from the 90s. This for the ladies. We start with the ladies first, of course. All right, you got three choices: dookie braids, finger waves, or Afro puffs.
No, waves, finger waves.
Finger waves. Okay.
Yeah, all day. Finger waves.
I'm gonna have to go with the dookie braids.
I'm with you. I'm rocking some braids. They last longer.
Right, yeah.
I used to do them finger waves all the way up top with big old French roll in the back.
French roll, go ahead.
Dryer. I don't want the dryer.
Go ahead, throw me some braids up there.
All right, for the fellas, we got the kid that played high top fade, the Gumby, or the old school waves with that old Dax wave group.
That Dax wave group.
Hey, I think I'm gonna go with the waves. I like that ocean.
You like that ocean? Man,
Whereby, hey, I cut this off. I get that good.
No, you don't.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's been so long since I had hair. Shit, I can't remember, man. I think. Oh, I will say, I did rock a mid top fade. Wasn't a high top. It was a mid top fade back in the day. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I ain't quite got the kid in play yet.
I'm good with that Gumby, man.
Hey, then you had the dope step. Ain't you had the steps?
I did have the door steps at one time. I had the door steps at one time.
Remember that?
I can't sleep at night.
Yeah, man. I had the low rat here, high rat there. Yeah. I was a sharp one back in the day when I had some hair. Before I shaved it. Before I shaved my hair.
Oh, okay.
Let's make that straight. What about you, Chad?
I like the Gumby, man.
The Gumby.
Yeah.
The Gumby, that old Bobby Brown Gumby.
I tried it one time.
It ain't worked for you.
But you know, it was good the first day. Then you know you lay in the bed and that looked like a Dumby.
Wasn't as fresh as it was when you first got it cut.
Hey, we ain't know how to handle it back then.
Yeah, I used to rock that high top fade. I go with the high top fade.
Yeah.
Yep.
We taking it back to the second category. Was that? Oh,
Dre, you got the fade on that ain't no pitch.
That is right. The B team picture. I remember you had the high top fade on that.
Oh
one.
yeah, I carried that over from 8th grade.
I remember that one.
All right, the second category gonna be music. All right, ladies first, of course. You got Mariah Carey, Toni Braxton, or Mary J. Blige.
Oh man, I wanted to get on that one, bro. Oh man,
I'm gonna go Toni Braxton. All
That
day
was a
long.
tough one.
I still got a Toni Braxton on Pandora, Apple Music. I can listen to her at any given moment.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Let me hit you with that 411 though. What's the 411, son?
Hey.
Let me tell you something. Mary been telling life stories for a minute.
You better say it.
Hey,
She's a friend.
411.
Look
I
here.
got it going on.
Hey.
Hey, Dre, why you ain't put Monica on there? 'Cause we just went to see her last night.
Monica was pretty good.
Oh, for real?
Monica ain't on that level. Monica ain't up there with this.
Monica got a lot of hits though.
Hey, she ain't got nothing on that short hair Tony Braxton boy. Ooh, I love
Hey,
it.
that boomerang love should have brought you home.
Man. Mission of love.
Hey, what's that? It's certain Mary J. Blige song when Anton know he in the doghouse. That playlist be on repeat. You're like, oh, what I done did.
I know before I even get out of bed. Why is this shit
like
playing?
this?
Mary, one of them songs though. I be singing hard, man. I can't. I remember the tape, her album Mary, that second half. She said it's your child, and it really messed me up. How could you deny? Oh Lord, boy, you don't know, boy. Boy, go ahead, Dre. My bad, man. I know that was for the ladies, man. But
Hey, I gotta let you have your moment.
you struck something, boy. You struck something for a second, boy.
Hey, that's a close contest, though. But I had to go with Mary J. You know.
But it wasn't for you, babe. It wasn't for you.
He said he wanted in on that conversation.
Hey, you know,
Right.
I'm the El Presidente.
There you go. You the president.
Every conversation.
You the
Now
president.
you pull the ring.
Right.
Hey, Jay-Z over here, he the H to the Izzo.
Uh-oh.
Take
over. Take it with Eric B. and Rakim, Public Enemy, or the Fresh Prince.
Ooh, not the Fresh Prince.
Oh,
His name
Will
was
Smith.
Will Smith,
You
right?
know the Fresh Prince, he rapped.
In 90s?
We was waiting on it.
Wait, you said Eric B.
Eric B. Rakim.
Eric B. Rakim, and who was the second person he said?
Public Enemy.
Oh, Eric B.
You almost did it, Dre. You almost made it. You almost made it through the 90s block with 90s people, but you had to bring up some 80s people. Let me see.
Yeah, this dude's career all been in the 90s. I don't know why you act like
they blew
episode was in 89. So
they blew up in the 80s. Oh God. Let me leave Dre. Let me leave Dre alone.
You should have said Ice Cube, Tupac.
That's still 80s.
Nah.
That's West Coast. That's West Coast. That's all West Coast.
All right. You said Eric B. and Rakim, Will Smith, Fresh Prince, and Public Enemy.
Yep.
I'm going Fresh Prince, man. Hey, man, Fresh Prince can make the argument as the greatest rapper of all time. We gonna talk. No, first of all, Nelly wasn't the greatest rapper of all time. The theory is if Nelly died, the reason Biggie is not the greatest rapper of all time because Biggie only put out 2 albums. If Nelly would have died after his second album, if he would have died after Nellyville, he might have went down as the greatest rapper of all time because you have to look at how big Nellyville was and that first album was. Nellyville sold 20 million copies. All right. Nelly was the hottest rapper in the world when Nellyville came out. So if he would have died at the moment Nellyville came out, like Biggie came out, you wouldn't have got to hear all those garbage. You wouldn't have got to hear Sweatsuit. You wouldn't have got to hear the country music album. You wouldn't have got to hear all that other bullshit Nelly came with. You would have known Nelly from Air Force Ones. That's all you would have known. So he would have been the greatest rapper of all time if he would have died the day he came out.
He know he was killing people out though.
Right.
Now,
I don't know how Will Smith comes.
Now,
Died. What?
I'm gonna break this down for Will Smith. I'm gonna break this down. I hate to do this, man, because it's gonna take a couple of minutes. But what is hip hop about? I'm about to break down what is hip hop about. Rap is about being the urban griot. It's about explaining, telling what's going on in your neighborhood. All right. First of all, Will could rap. He could rap back in the 80s. For what the 80s was worth, Will had lyrics. So as a rapper with lyrics, He was a great rapper with lyrics during his time. Next thing, longevity. Will Smith has had #1 hits in 3 different decades. In the 80s with that Parents Just Don't Understand, in the 90s, in the 2000s, up to that Miami, getting jiggy with it in the 80s, the Miami in the 2000s. He has had #1 hits and been a supreme hit maker for 3 decades. So that's longevity. All right. Being what I said about a rapper, being an urban griot of sorts, being a storyteller. Who didn't tell stories better than the Fresh Prince? Nightmare on My Street, Parents Just Don't Understand. Those are great storytellers. Let's talk about hits. Name one person who doesn't know Summertime. On May 30th, every radio station in the world plays Summertime all the way to August 31st.
This man is the president of the Will Smith.
Look at. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm giving you reasons why this man is #1. Hold on a second. Boom, you talking. Let me do that to you. Let me finish. All right. Now, the next thing is rap is about keeping it real. Who has not kept it realer than Will Smith? He never pretended to be a thug. He never pretended to be something else. Rap is about staying on with your day ones. This man got DJ Jazzy Jeff on a TV show. He kept it real with his day ones from day one. Hey, man, it's a hard. He has a legit case of being one of the greatest rappers ever, man. You don't want to admit it because the way Jada make him look like a fool now. He look crazy now. But
now you won.
We need Dave Chappelle wrap it up, boss.
You won.
But there it is.
What's y'all next thing? What y'all sipping on? What you sipping on?
Hey, there it is. Right. Will Smith, greatest all time.
I'm moving on to the last question. Greatest. The last question. This will go across the board.
We're still on the 90s block.
He done went on so hard, we forgot we had another one.
All right, last one is movies. And this love movies first, since we talking about love language. Poetic Justice, Love Jones, and the last one is Ghosts.
Oh, Love Jones.
Yeah, Love Jones.
Love and down. That dog soundtrack, I still play that.
Yeah, that soundtrack.
Shit, I ain't never seen Ghosts. I got nigga taste in movies. I
ain't never seen Ghosts
soundtrack.
Huh?
The Fresh Prince on Love Jones soundtrack.
You know what?
Gotta be.
Next
question.
That's
where my pen came from.
Oh man, look at y'all gonna put some respect on Willard Smith's name.
We won.
We don't win. It's just a conversation on the 90s block. We just taking the stroll. Drake take us on the stroll.
Down the 90s block. Playground. We spend most of your days.
There it is. Proof. The man makes hits. You know that song, don't you? Thank you. In the conversation. All right, man. This has been another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast. We got any parting shots, man? We start off with the president. What's going on, El President? Any parting shots?
Hey, I love everybody.
Oh God. Take away the bottle from this dude.
I got the wife beyond
Tanisha, do we have any parting shots, Tanisha?
I'm just grateful for this little love language episode. I know Michelle and I've been in the chat talking about when you're gonna have the wifeys on, and I've met Michelle and Aaron. They cool peeps. Y'all fam, just like Anton and Dre. Y'all fam. Sylvester, the jury's still out.
I'm here. All right. What about you, Todd and Michelle? Anything to say before we get out of here?
Hey man, we know always great being with you guys, man, and getting with the significant others, making sure we keep this love together. You know, I love you, baby. Hey, that's my word.
Love and happiness.
Hey, Sly.
I know he loves me. He don't always like me, but he loves me.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I said that in our vows, so you're right about that. Yep.
Hey, Sly.
There you go. Go ahead, Dre.
That's the snippet right there.
That's the one we cut out right there.
Yes, sir.
And Aaron and Dre, do you guys got any parting shots for us before we get out of here?
No, I mean, thanks for having the wives on. I think you guys need to do this a little bit more often. But I think we showed that even marriage later in life can be successful. It's the same things that it takes you guys to stay together or stay married 19, 20 years. It's the same thing today. So there's still hope out there for everyone.
All right, man. This has been
before you go here, I will say this.
Oh Lord.
hey man, this was a great accomplishment that we came through this whole show and ain't nobody get divorced.
Not yet. I mean,
if this brings about divorce, and that foundation was not solid.
Hey, I'm saying that's an accomplishment.
What I said in the beginning, he ain't going nowhere.
There you go, man.
I know time ain't going nowhere.
Well, this has been another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast, man. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we're going to keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. Now, before we get out of here, I want to let everybody know you must communicate if you want to fornicate. We'll see you next week here on the RIP 28 podcast. We holla.
Well, that's why you don't get none.
Oh, okay, President.
What's your sister doing later?
Hey, you know.
Mute.